Hello, and welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. I've got to press the button there. Hello, we weren't here last week. Things happened. That's it. So we've got lots of stuff to talk about this week. The return of the Expanse, the final Expanse book. Keith has now got an Expanse apron. Lost in Space, set in the Expanse, and some bits from the Game Awards, which we go through, which hopefully put a smile on Nigel's face. Well, there'll be one in there. I'm hoping we'll put a smile on Nigel's face. We don't know. We'll try. We'll see what happens. So, guys, how you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I've had a week away. I'm suitably well rested. Could have done without the God knows how many hours of traffic on the way home. But apart from that, all good.
Nice. Yes, stand fair for Nige. All right, so let's get on with our first thing, which is TV. So, the first episode of The Expanse's triumphant return for its last and final season on Amazon aired Friday. I watched it twice. I thought it was good. Did some things which I felt kind of made up for how they dealt with certain things at the end of last season, shall we say. So I think we're 180 days into the war with the Free Navy, and Earth and Mars are kind of pinned down, shooting rocks down from the Free Navy being thrown at Earth. The problem is that there's rubble and shit falling to Earth, and it's causing a whole manner of problems where it's destroying stuff. So they're destroying the big ones, so there's no giant nuclear size explosions, but there are plenty of smaller explosions, and it's causing a headache. And you get to see this with Avasarala and Bobby as they're chatting away at the beginning, and then you've got Holden and their lot, and they are off trying to fight the Free Navy and trying to get all kind of cool stuff done, and they're trying to do their best, but they don't feel like they're winning. They don't feel like they're getting anywhere. And then you've got Marcus, Naros, and Philip. And Marcos is being an absolute bastard to his own people now. And Philip having a massive, how can I put it, attack of conscience and a bit of PTSD all thrown into one, figuring out that he is a mass murderer. To which he ends his part of the show with figuring, well, I've murdered 1 million people. Why don't I just murder my friend? And it was good. It was so good. There's so many bits to pick out of there. There was drama in there. Apart from drama was probably the boringest bit, but yeah.
I have a question for you, though. This is only 6 episodes long, right?
Yes.
Are they covering a lot in this first episode? Because you only see the Konya at the beginning.
Yes.
You don't see any of Marcus. What's his face?
Marcus?
Duarte.
No, yes, you do.
Sorry, no, Duarte.
Duarte will appear episode 4 or 3 after the little
but
girl's
are they going to rush it?
Killed.
They're only like 40 odd minutes long. I felt that it was. I really enjoyed it. There were a lot of F-bombs. There was a lot of effing and jeffing in this one, far more than usual. But I felt I liked it. This is not a criticism. But it felt that the pace was slow for a 6-episode season, if that makes sense. It felt like an episode in a 10-episode season. Mm-hmm. And I'm worried that they're going to suddenly rush through it at the end. I'm just slightly concerned that because of the couth that we've only got that's part of the reason. Because I know they did that in Lost in Space, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But it just felt a bit. The pace didn't feel quick enough for a 6-episode season. And my only concern is that they're going to rush it, and I don't want them to do that. I really enjoyed the episode. I thought. Marcus Naros is a bastard and needs to die. I know I say this every episode. He needs to die. He needs to get the kind of fucking Joffrey style death. And if he doesn't, I know he does. But they have got to show that in graphic detail. This fucker's got to get the equivalent of the arrow through the neck kind of thing.
I'd just like to point out that if you look in the title sequence, if you've read the books, There's a spoiler in the fucking title sequence.
I know.
And I'm just like, I watched that and I went, "Oh, you cheeky bastards! They spoiled something. But only if you know what you're looking for."
My other comment is that Amos showed incredible self-control with Naomi, because I would have thrown something at that bitch. I'm sorry, I do not like Naomi and her little hissy fit in this episode. How Amos did not fucking lose the plot with her, I do not know, because Amos is not exactly a cool and calm, collective guy, right? How he didn't throw his fucking spanner at her head because she fucking deserved it. I do not know.
Right, hang on a second. You have to remember that the following. Yeah, she is responsible for pretty much all of this, and she's feeling that responsibility. She gave the proto molecule sample to Fred Johnson. She helped Marcos Naros out. Yeah, so she is feeling fucking guilty as sin, and it's great because you can see on her face that it's weighing on her.
I don't know. Maybe it's the actress. I've always found Naomi annoying. I have never liked Naomi. Maybe it's the actress. I do not know. Naomi in the book, I sympathize with. Naomi in the TV series is just irritating. And the way she was in this episode, I just, and I thought Amos was going to really lose the plot with her. And I thought, yeah, you deserve it. But he didn't. He walked away. I was like, yeah, kudos to you, Amos. You've grown as a person. But why didn't you throw your spanner at the head? Because she kind of deserves it. But and he was right. His words were right. It's like, when she said, it's like, whoa, hang on a second, Naomi. He kind of cut her down with his...
She will get a chance to redeem herself right towards the end.
Well, she needs
and you know this.
I think this is partly because of 3 episodes of Naomi being stuck on the ship. It was just like die already.
Yes, even the missus. When we watched the recap, she went, most of that's her being stuck on that fucking spaceship. And I went, yeah. But as I said to her, it's because of that whole Alex thing that ruined that series, and I had to go back, and everything that was Holden section was refilmed because they should have been talking about all the ships going Dutchman, so it doesn't seem so just thrown in there in this episode, because that was a key plot point for the previous book. Yeah, with all these ships just as lovingly called it going Dutchman.
The Phillips stuff was genuinely shocking. Him, combinating him shooting his friend, that was genuinely shocking and good drama. It is back. Don't get me wrong. It is back to the quality it was pre the 3, screwed up ending episodes of last season. It's had its Me Too moment, as some people have said, and it's back to being class. I mean, the whole sort of shot of Avasarala on Earth in the sort of nuclear winter, that was really, really powerful scene. I genuinely loved it. I've watched it twice. I love it. I want it to be a 10-episode season. I feel like I'm going to get shortchanged here. As I said, my concern is they're going to rush it at the end. But by God, what an episode. We got a lot in that episode. Especially the sort of the opening on the Laconia and seeing the what's its face. That was
the repair
cool.
Drone. Yeah, you're gonna get that all. That's gonna be at the beginning of every episode. That's the Strange Dogs story, and that's gonna be at the beginning of every episode all the way to the end. So you should meet Winston Duarte there. The downside is that sets something up for the final 3 books that I don't know if they're going to play out properly, because the
I don't know what they're going to do, because they said this is the final season, right? But it's not. In the books, it's not. And they're obviously towing the line with the book. So are they going to, at the end, surprise us going, we're coming back in 10 years' time,
No. They've said the following. This is our final season with Amazon. That's what they've said. They haven't said this is our final season. This is our final season with Amazon, they've said. Yeah, so they're going to wait until the crew age up, and then hopefully we'll forget about the Expanse, and then they'll go, guess what's coming back? What? The Expanse? Just like Dexter did with Dexter New Blood, where it's like, guess what's coming back? Dexter. And you'll be like, oh my God, I remember that. That was fantastic. Oh, apart from the bit with Naomi in spaceship. And that's going to be the running thing. It'll be, it was great, apart from the bit with Naomi in the spaceship.
there was a lot more swearing in this. There was a lot of effing and jeffing.
It's because they're all under pressure. They're all feeling it.
Yeah.
There's been 180 days they've been doing this shit. Yeah, and it just I think they just wanted to set up the fact that that they needed to pay. They didn't really pay off Alex's death properly at the end of season 5. Yeah, so they were like, shit, we've got to cover that. Yeah, so they covered that properly. So you got a kind of a feel that they are missing him. There is problems, this, that, and the other. And then the fact that the Rosinante have been chasing down fucking rock hoppers all across the belt for God knows how long. Avasarala can't move the UN fleet, and the Martians can't move the Martian fleet into the belt because they keep getting rock strikes at them. Yeah. So the next episode will then take out that spotter ship. That will then free up the Navy. The Navy will then go after to Marcos. Yeah. Marcos has already hinted that he's going to fuck over the Belters. Yeah. Regardless of what he says, he when he had the conversation with the person on series when they were talking about getting the agricultural stuff. Yeah. And then he talks to who was supposed to be the Michio Park character, the new girl. And he says, I'll fuck him. And it's like, yeah. And he does that. He fucks over Palace Station, which turns the entire belt against him in the future.
There's a change in him, though, isn't there? I mean, he's walking around with this kind of almost godlike clothing, and he thinks very much of himself, and you see that in there. The actor is phenomenal. I mean, don't get me wrong. Marcus Anaris needs to fucking die, but that's because the actor is doing such a good job of playing an absolute cunt. No offense, but the guy is an absolute grade A all-star cunt. And he's doing it very well, but he's buying into his own godlikeness, isn't he? Now with the clothing, which you didn't see in the previous season. That's an interesting change, and obviously Philip is picking up on that. No, I genuinely enjoyed the episode. As I said, my only concern is there's only 6, and the pace didn't feel like a 6-episode season. If that
it will pick up. Don't worry. I think the last apparently there are little mini episodes between. I've got to figure out to find them. There's something to do with the X-ray function when you use it. So I've got to find them. As soon as I find them, I'll tell you how to do it. Or if you find them, tell me how to do it too. Because there's little things in there. Because I have filmed other bits to go along with it. Yeah, really good. I think they're going to stick the landing. My gut tells me they're going to stick the landing on this one. I think it's going to be good. I think the last episode probably be an hour long. I think it reminds me of the end half of season 3. Yeah, it's like that. It was quite slow to start with, wasn't it? It was all of a sudden you had the big thing with the proton molecule. It came out, and all of a sudden there's this massive stop. And
that was like midway through season 3. You had that first epic half, and then you had that slow up to the end, but then you had that magnificent final episode of season 3 that was just epic. Yeah, no, look, I love it. It's awesome. What happens in the last book, Gareth?
Oh, we'll cover that in a second. So, just to finish off with the TV series, nice. Give it a watch, for crying out loud. You'll enjoy it. It's really good.
It's good.
I will.
I don't think I don't think it'll disappoint you like Game of Thrones will.
No,
nothing.
Okay,
and I mean nothing will disappoint me like the last couple of seasons of Game of Thrones. Nothing, and that's a fact.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the book. Hang on a second. So I bought the audio book of The Expanse because I didn't have any time to sit down and read. So it was nice being able to have it in my ears as I'm working. And I got through it in the space of about 3 days. And I was pretty much fucking constantly listening to the thing.
See, that's a shame. I was hoping you had a physical copy so I could borrow it.
Oh, sorry,
I've not read any of the other books, and I thought, oh, do you know what? Maybe I'll borrow that one.
If I can give you access to my Audible account, you can probably do the last 3 books. Because after the season...
Does it stick the landing?
It sticks the landing, but not spectacularly.
But let's get this right. So all 8, 9... No, hang on. How many books are there in The Expanse season?
9 books.
Right. So all 9 books of The Expanse. So start, middle, finish, right? We've got the whole lot, right?
Yes.
And the Winds of Winter is still not fucking out, you lazy fat bastard. Sorry. Just had to say that.
I think you've blown your mic, mate.
Yeah, just
okay.
destroyed it.
I said the winds of winter.
No, mate. It's a technical issue. You've just genuinely fucked your mic.
Not joking. You killed it. You need a new one now.
I think he has got the other ones, but
am I back? Am I back?
You're back, but you're gonna have to lean into it if we want to hear you, because you might have.
I really busted my mic.
You
might have.
You hate the man so much. You've killed your mic.
I'd just like to point out that George R.R. Martin has written an endorsement of The Expanse. So let's have a look, right? Just as Keith lovingly blew his mic out over, The Expanse novelization happened between the last book that George R.R. Martin wrote and the one that he should have finished off 5 years ago. Yeah, the whole of The Expanse. And might have almost, if the TV series stops too, the whole of The Expanse plus the TV series. So yes. Anyway, last book, Leviathan.
Am I any better now? Has the audio come back?
You are better, but you kind of you get a little choppy every so often because, as I said, you might have just.
You might have actually
I blown the mic, calling him a lazy fat bastard.
Yes, you did.
You put more gusto into that than he has. You put more into that than he has in writing the last book, Keith.
Exactly, fucking exactly.
But I remember when you were saying, "Oh, I'm just waiting for the last book to be written, then I'll read it." And I went, "Mate, he'll never write that last book, and you'll be waiting. It will come out on his deathbed."
But
no, someone will finish that off.
And someone else will finish it.
Does everyone die, or do they have nice endings? Does Holden have a nice ending?
Right, Holden's the only one who doesn't get a nice ending.
What?
Right.
I'm all right with that.
Of course he's right. Alex gets the best ending, and then Amos after Alex.
I thought Amos died.
Yeah, he did die.
So how is he back again? Protomolecule.
No, that dog. Yeah.
Yes.
It fixed him.
Okay.
Is there
It's a repair drone. The dog at the beginning of that thing is not a dog. It's a repair drone. You give it something, it fixes it. It can't tell the difference between organic and inorganic, though. Yeah. So in the Strange Dog story, which you should have read, Keith, how can I put it?
I'm getting there.
All right. The little girl kills a bird, like you said at the beginning of the episode, yeah? She gives it bread, and because it's alien, it can't eat bread, yeah? And it dies. So she leaves it there. The dog picks it up, it takes it away, and then it returns it, and it's been protomoleculed and looks a bit weird, but it's alive. And the same thing happens to Amos. There's a new character in it called Tanaka. I can't remember her name now. She's it does suffer a bit girl boss in the fucking thing with this Tanaka character, and she's like a Laconian that's chasing down. She's trying to get back Winston Duarte because what happened is in the end of the first book, the aggressor species do something, and because Winston's connected to all the protomolecule stuff, it puts him into a coma. So at the beginning of this, Winston wakes up out of his coma and then disappears off into the woods, and no one fucking sees him. And like, where's he fucking gone? Yeah. So they send off Tanaka, and Tanaka figures out that Holden escaped with his daughter, and that Winston would probably go and try and seek out his daughter. But Winston's gained some weird powers. He can do what Miller can do, where he can project to people like a hologram.
Okay.
So Winston can now talk to his people and whatnot, where before it was a little different. Elvia Okoye is trying to get some stuff out of the library, trying to find out where the protomolecule aliens buried their weapons, because they didn't collapse the ring space to stop the aliens. They left it running, which means they were planning on coming back. So they were planning on coming back and finishing off the aggressor species.
Do they get sorted or not?
Well, the aggressor species.
Yeah.
Let me get to it. All right. So Tanaka's now chasing them down. They try to drop off Winston Duarte's daughter on a planet to send her off to some college to make sure she's safe and whatnot. But when they get to the planet, Tanaka and her crew are there, and they get into a fight, and Amos dies again. He gets shot through the fucking chest. Yeah, and to which Holden then blows part of Tanaka's face off, thinking he's killed her because she's wearing a spacesuit thing. So a bullet passed through her cheek and exploded. So there's this like red goo inside the visor, so you couldn't see it killed her. It looked from distance. She's lying still on the floor, face like it's like an exploded cantaloupe inside a spacesuit. So kind of got that vibe, yeah. Anyway, they bugger off the planet, and they decide to go and find Elvie, and then they spend lots of time with Elvie trying to figure out what's happening. Amos comes back from the dead because the protomolecule fixes everything. Yeah, and he starts having seizures. And what the seizures are is it's when Elvie Okoye starts accessing this library where all the weapons and stuff's supposed to be. So he starts having seizures and whatnot. And at the same time, we've got loads of people just freaking out. They're all using the ring gates like lunatics and whatnot. And the aggressor species have managed to wipe out one system just by turning everyone off. Yeah, they literally just shut down everyone's brain functions in the system and killed like 100,000 people off in one go. So they're like getting they look like they're getting closer to figuring out how to kill us off in one hit, which is like their goal. So they're doing that. Elvie's now looking for weapons, and Winston's that. Anyway, all of a sudden the aggressor species kind of stops. Yeah. And then the gates all start glowing all across all the systems. And then everyone starts becoming telepathically linked to one another.
Jesus.
Yeah. So everyone's now starting to be telepathically linked to everyone. Elvie and the others and Tanaka and that decide to put the differences aside and say, look, we need to find Winston because I think he's doing this. Yeah. He's modified himself so he understands protomolecule technology. He's doing this. So there's only one place he could have gone. That's the station in the middle of the ring space. And that's the weapon that the protomolecule aliens left behind. Take care. You saw him use it as a weapon, destroying systems in the third series. So they go to the station. They try and get in, and then Holden has the bright idea of injecting himself with protomolecule. So he injects himself with protomolecule. And then something wonderful happens. A certain character comes back.
Who?
Miller.
Oh,
And I was like, oh my God. And it's like, kind of, why did you bring me back? He says, because I need your help. He goes, you're the only person who could have got into the station. And he's like, oh, fuck. All right, fair enough. And he's like giving him grief and whatnot. And everyone finds it weird because when Winston Duarte appears to people as like this kind of psychically projected hologram, everyone can see Winston. But when Miller does it, only Holden can see him. So everyone thinks he's a little fucking mad, which is fun. So they go down into the ring station. He takes his daughter with him because she's like, I'm not going. I'm going to be a pain in the ass, this, that, and the other. And it's like, all right, you'll think twice about shooting us or doing anything if you're standing alongside her. Tanaka, the evil bitch, girl boss, whatever, it comes down with them too. And then they see that Winston has wired himself into the station. And what he's doing now is he's building up the power from the station. And what he needs to do is he needs to utilize humanity to create like a psychic wave to kill off the aggressor species. So he's trying to do that. Everyone is now getting to the point that they're getting their memories are intersecting. So they're memorizing something, but it's someone else's fucking memory. Yeah. So it's like I was thinking about this, and it's like, kind of, I remember when Stacy did that. Who the fuck is Stacy? Yeah. And they're all doing that. Yeah. So that's all that shit's all happening. Everyone's freaking out. It's getting worse. It's causing like kind of accidents and whatnot. And Holden gets there, and it gets to a point where they're trying to get Winston out of the machine, but they can't. So Tanaka says, I'm going to shoot him. He turns around and goes, if you shoot him, the station's going to take you apart in red mist and put you back together to fill the gaps. And she went, you better fucking, he goes, you better fucking win. Yeah, and then she gets redemption by killing Winston Duarte and disconnecting him from it. So then Miller and Holden then get connected into the station, and Miller starts explaining that he was using it he needs the psychic wave because the protomolecule aliens fought together in like a big network, yeah. So they were like these weird jellyfish things that fought together, and they had one giant hive consciousness. Yeah. So the station used that hive consciousness to help things out. Humans don't think like that. So Winston was then changing everyone. So Holden then gives it a go. Yeah. And he goes and he reaches out and he's like, I think I can stop them. And now at this point in time, the aggressive species have breached the walls of the ring space and they're in the ring space. So they're in the ring space with the others. So where before it was just a gap between the gates, now it's actually the ring space because that ring space is in their space. They don't like it. So Holden and Miller and that are like trying to figure it out. And Holden turns around and goes, if I do this, then humans will no longer be humans. He turns around and goes, okay, well, do what they weren't willing to do. And he went, really? He went, yeah, do what they weren't willing to do. So Holden then sends out a little communique and says, right, get to your gates and prepare to live there forever. Yeah, because I'm going to shut down the ring space. All of it. So they all bugger off. Alex is sitting on the Rocinante. His son has gone off to live on one colony. And he's turned around and goes, look, my son's on that colony. I'm a granddad. I want to see, my grandchild come up and that. So they go, okay, you can have the Rocinante. So they give him the Rocinante and then he gets to go off and to the star system with his son. And he's like thinking to himself, oh, I could do surveys, this, that, and the other. And he's like sends a little thing to go. It sends a little all ship broadcaster. If there's anybody left on the ship, you need to leave now. Otherwise, you're coming with me. Anyway, he gets the gate. They fucking dupe you in a bit because they make out the Rocinante has a fault right towards the end as he's getting towards the gate, and you think he doesn't make it, but he does make it in the end. But it was just to fuck with you, to create a bit of tension, which I really didn't appreciate, but I understood why you do it from a storytelling perspective. So he disappears off and lives happily. Amos and the others have decided they're going through the Soul Gate, so they're going back home. So they go through the Soul Gate, and Holden's last words before he claps the ring space, killing himself, Miller, and the aggressive species is, fuck it. Fuck it. Are you going to do it? Fuck it. And then everything collapses. All the rings all shut down everywhere. Everyone's now stranded across deep space. And then you have the epilogue, which happens 1,000 years later. It feels a bit Mass Effect 3. It happens 1,000 years later. Some guys launched a pod from Laconia to Earth. So he lands on Earth and he starts speaking Chinese to the locals. And this fella comes up, this fella that starts talking back to him goes, look, I don't want to sound rude or anything. My Chinese is shit, like that. He goes, do you still talk English? Because if you do, it's great. There's a bar down the road. We can go and get beers together. It's fucking Amos. Which is how it ends.
Brilliant.
And it's good and it's bad. And I was expecting a bit more, but fuck it. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't great. But then again, I suppose maybe I built it up in my head a little too much. I was hoping for a bit more explanation. But then again, if you explain the aggressive species, they don't become as dangerous or whatever, and it kind of feels a bit hand wavy. So they kind of keep them as a mystery. They're referred to as the Dark Gods, though, which I think is probably the best term for them.
Yeah.
But I watched that and I enjoyed that. So that was the book. So yeah, I've spoiled it. I spoiled the shit out of it. But there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, I'll still listen to them.
Let's talk Lost in Space. Right. Bilf has put a comment, which I'll answer after we do Lost in Space bit. Okay, so Lost in Space. Final season of Lost in Space because Netflix never go past three seasons. Which is fucking annoying. Daredevil, for crying out loud. Yeah.
They don't usually. They have done on the odd occasion. Stranger Things, for instance. But,
it's because someone forgot to remember the 3-season rule. That's what it was.
I will say this. I will say one thing, and it is my only criticism, is that this was a 10-episode season that they shortened to 8 because of COVID, and you felt it towards the end. Especially the bit with the robots towards the end where they work out how to turn the robots. That was rushed. And that was, that was lengthened out and we know that they cut it to 8 because of COVID. That being said, I fucking love Lost in Space, and it was a satisfying ending. And I enjoyed the season. I mean, it was balls to the wall action the whole fucking season. There was not a moment to go, you know, it was like, take a deep breath, 8 episodes, now breathe.
Yes.
And I will give it that. The soundtrack and the effects and everything, it was an 8-hour movie, that was, and it was brilliant. I mean,
Okay,
as I said,
can I just
go on.
There was one bit that bugged me in the entire series, yeah, and I wonder if it bugged you. There's a bit where they're on the crashed spaceship, the Fortuna, and they're cutting through the bar for the robot to get the robot free, yeah. The sound doesn't match the actions.
Yeah, that's true.
Go and watch it, and I'm just looking at it, and my brain's going, "There's something wrong. There's something wrong, Gareth. There's something wrong." And then I watched it, and it's like, "Oh fuck, the sound doesn't match the action." It was really quite excruciating to myself, but it was it was done really well.
I loved it. I loved that all the characters, that there was proper character development, and all the characters got the payoff that they all deserved. I like, as much as I can't stand the actress's name, Parker Posey, it just annoys me. She even the most annoying, irritating character in it managed to redeem herself at the end in the only way she could. And I genuinely, I liked that. I liked that the dad had a good ending. The dad wasn't a typical Hollywood dad, you know, bad dad kind of thing. The dad had a really good ending. You know, all of them got a good payoff. You know, all of the characters. And yeah, Nigel, if you haven't, you've got to watch this. You've got to watch it with the kids. It's really, really good.
Well, I've been trying to get them into this. I think I've watched about 4 episodes of the first series, but they're just not interested in that sort of thing. So it's tricky.
It's a shame.
It is a shame. It's really well done, and there's some bits in it. It's like the bit where they get Will back to Alpha Centauri, and they take him to hospital, and they say to Don that only family are allowed in, and then it gets to the end, and they turn around and goes, "What are you doing?" Because his family thing. Goes, "You're part of the family," and he's like, "Oh, brilliant!" And that's that I liked, because they kind of they set that up and paid that off, and then the bit where the robot stops Smith from killing the captain of the Resolute. Yeah, which was good. Because she's about to kill him, and he turns around to goes help Dr. Smith or whatever it is. Yeah, and then it's like, okay, and she kind of redeems herself that way, which was done well.
But then you get that lovely bit between her and Maureen in the prison cell. That was good as well, where she's like, "When you get out, come and find me," and you were just like. Considering the you know, the resentment between the two of the characters, for that to happen towards the end, that was powerful. But she saved Will, so in her own way. And that bit where she nearly kills the captain, and the robot saves her. There's so much. There was a lot of character development. There was a lot of those little moments throughout this. Genuinely, it's one of those things where so many Hollywood series never end well. I think I can count the series that I've seen that have a satisfying ending on one hand. Breaking Bad is still up there, you know, probably at the top. That the ending to that was really very well done. This is up there with that. That it had that good ending. Yes, it left me wanting more, but that's what it should do. My only thing is, I think my only criticism is those last 2 episodes, I think, was 4 episodes condensed into 2. And I think they sped certain things up, and that was a slight shame, but under the circumstances, it still had that satisfying ending. And I liked how it ended. I genuinely did. I liked, you know, Will and the robot going off on an adventure, but having that everybody around the family dinner table, and genuinely, Lost in Space is one of those little gems, I think.
Yeah,
Perfectly
I agree.
contained. And yeah,
I like the way it started, where you had all the kids, and then the fact that they went back to rescue the parents. And Judy thought that Dad would be fucking pissed off at her. He turns around and goes, "No, I gave you a command. You've got to do what you want with the command. If you say come back and rescue us, yeah, and you seem to have done a good job at it too. Well done." And it was good because there's a bit where you have always this female empowerment bullshit that you've got in thingy, which isn't done correctly. Yeah, where Judy was arguing with a biological dad about using the autopilot. Yeah. And the dad's like, no, we can do it manually. We'll do it manually because he's old school. Yeah, he's analog. Yeah, he likes the feel of the fucking stick and controlling the attitude and everything like that. She turns around and goes, no, the computer can do the calculations and it can work this stuff out for you. Yeah, it's done us good so far. Yeah. And he's like, no. And then she turns around and goes, no, I'm fucking turning it on. She turns it on. Yeah. And because he can't see behind him, there's a fucking rock that smashes an asteroid into two so they can fly through it. Computer can see that, but he can't see that. And then he's like, yeah, it wasn't like kind of, like, oh, Michael Burnham, you're brilliant. It was, fuck, you're right.
But
Response.
he then, unlike a lot of Hollywood things where man bad, he then gets his redemption in, I think, the 7th or 8th episode where he is able to help them with something. I think it was the computer or something that he knew that because of the thing. So he gets that moment in the spotlight where he shines.
Everyone gets a moment to shine.
Yeah.
There's not one person who doesn't get a moment to shine. It is more Will Robinson focused than anything else.
But then it was always Will Robinson focused. The original series was Will and his robot, Danger Will Robinson, and they had to play on that. But each character got that moment, whereas you have so many women amazing to the detriment of the male characters, Doctor Who being the prime example of that. To empower the women, men have to be stamped upon. Where you get that female empowerment scene later on, that he gets to step in and go, well, actually, I might have been wrong there, but I'm right here. And he saves the day kind of thing. You got that. There was none of this. There was a balance to it. People were equal. Women weren't elevated to the detriment of male. There was none of this typical political gender bullshit that you get throughout all of Hollywood. This was genuine writing. This is how you do that kind of diversity. Yeah. I hate to use that word, but this is how you do it.
Yeah, that is. You're right. That is say that because it's all positive. There's no negative. It's not done in a negative way. You made a mistake. Doesn't fucking matter. We're living. Let's carry on. Yeah. Pat yourself on the back. You were thinking right. That's how it is. It's like the bit where, as I said, the bit where they were sawing the robot free, and Penny's talking to her dad, and she's talking to him about her boyfriends. So I don't know which one to pick. Do I pick this one? Big hunky stud, great. Properly manly, or so-and-so who's really sensitive and attuned to my needs. And his dad's like, what the fuck are you having this conversation with me? Yeah. To which he turns around and goes, you're keeping me distracted. He goes, it's probably the first time she's seen him scared. Yeah. And because he's been so strong for them before, she figures the best way of dealing with it is to do what he would do in that situation. And I love that because the kids like hero worship the dad. Yeah, he's not a bad dad. He's hero worshipped. Yeah, the mum's got issues. Yeah, but the kids love the fucking dad. Yeah, and they love the mum too, but in like kind of different ways for different things. But it's such a nice TV program. You don't get many of these nice TV programs.
It was genuine. It felt realistic that you had the eldest daughter had a problem with her mum. The mum realized that she probably did slightly resent the daughter for not being able to become an astronaut. They have that moment. They have that realization. They move on from that. Things get better. Again, whoever wrote this is a human and not somebody that's living in the Hollywood bubble where morals are all quasi unscrewed up. That this has a moral center. right? And I think that's the key to this thing. Like with Star Trek Discovery, where Michael Burnham is the greatest ever, even though she's an absolute cunt. Excuse me, I know I'm using that word
A war criminal.
She is. And a
war
criminal.
Michael Burnham
has a moral center. And each character is not perfect. They, and they have warts and they have bad bits, but they have good bits. And the father is not perfect, but he's not a bastard. He's a human. Yes. And each one of these characters feels human, and that's the thing I loved about it. And genuinely, I was left wanting more, and that's what it damn well should have done. And it did that. And there's nothing. I have nothing but really positive things to say about it. That genuinely, I wish there was more of it, but actually, it completed well, and that's what it should do.
This was a phrase I heard on one person who reviewed it, said it felt like TV did in like the 80s with like Star Trek Next Generation, where it was like kind of supposed to be wholesome and family.
Yeah.
But more happens, because that was my problem with Star Trek. Not as much happened as it should do, but more happens. So it does have that kind of wholesome aspect to it.
It's definitely a family orientated thing. There's definitely, I could pick holes in the technology things of like anti-gravity, and certain things like that. But
the fact that they were like bang on top of two stars colliding, the gravitational forces would have ripped them to fucking shreds.
It's like there is so many things, but the thing is, you forget about that because you are invested in the story, you're invested in the characters, and it's a rarity these days, and it stands out and it shines because it genuinely understands human emotion and humans, and it feels like people who are not the people that wrote this have morals. That's the only way to say it, but it's true.
I'll tell you one thing. I would put fucking Judy Robinson in charge of this fucking Discovery, along with fucking Michael Burnham.
Exactly.
And she's like 20. She's like 21 with no experience, and she'd say no. Too is the other part of it. No, I don't want it. No. I think you could do a really good job here.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree.
I liked all the characters. I felt Penny had to end it because she was probably the only Robinson that was kind of pushed out towards. She's the awkward middle child. Yeah, so she was kind of pushed out, and they acknowledged that and they went through that. All right, that was Lost in Space. We've got a little comment, and we'll come back to that in a
second. You're listening to the Monkey Nut Punch podcast.
Right. So, Bofa, not Bilfa today, Bofa the Hobbit. Are you guys excited for Spider-Man No Way Home? Will it pass $1 billion US? And I'm assuming that's worldwide. I am and I'm not. It's a weird thing to say, because at the moment in the UK, the lockdown was fucking shut up shop before Christmas. I am well expecting them between the 17th and 21st of December to turn around and say Christmas is cancelled. I am fucking expecting that based on no numbers.
Without going into the huge political point at this point, it's becoming less likely. And it's becoming less likely that anybody's going to fucking listen to them, even if they try to. Especially with today's news, but we won't go into that. 3 parties, three. But anyway,
no, there were 5.
4. Oh, 5, right.
5.
But anyway, to answer that question, I know why Gareth isn't umming and ahhing, but I'm kind of really, considering that it's the worst kept secret in Hollywood, I am really looking forward to seeing all 3 of those Spider-Men together, because each one of them has a good Spider-Man quality, right? I know that I think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was really good. I know you don't like him as Peter Parker.
He nailed Spider-Man, but fucked up Peter Parker.
I get that. I didn't mind him as much, but I like Andrew Garfield. I'm really looking forward to seeing Tobey Maguire. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing Alfred Molina back, because he was the best goddamn Spider-Man baddie, hands down.
First third of that film, they're fighting him, and then he will become the guy.
Yes, and I think that's what.
Yeah, and he's going to be helping them out.
I don't know. If
Yes.
it is, it's one of the better kept secrets. But in theory, considering that we've got every other one of the Sinister Six in the trailer, I'd be surprised if we didn't. Because Sony have had a boner for the Sinister Six.
But Venom wasn't one of the Sinister Six, so sorry to be gay.
Well, he is.
No, he wasn't.
He
No,
was
he's
one
not.
of their but he was one of the ones of their Sinister Six because he was set up in the Andrew Garfield one as one of them.
Anyway, I think he's going to turn up in it. I don't know to what extent. The one I want to turn up in it is Charlie Cox as fucking Daredevil.
I think that's going to happen because we're getting the Kingpin in Hawkeye. I mean, talk about the big guy. Well, I wonder who that is.
Who's the fucking big guy?
Yeah.
Right. But saying that, if it doesn't do that, I'm going to be so disappointed.
Well, based upon every other Marvel TV series, it very well could do that. But look, I mean, we'll talk about Hawkeye because you cannot not like Haley Seinfeld. I'm sorry, but I love her. I know that people are bitching that it's the what's her face, the Kate Bishop show, but I don't care. She's lovely. But yes, Charlie Cox. That's again one of the worst kept secrets. It's going to happen.
I really hope it is. All right, if you can keep it within 10 minutes, we'll talk about Hawkeye.
Yeah, I can
keep it
within
10 minutes.
I can keep it in my pants. I can keep it.
All right, Hawkeye. I've watched all 4 episodes of Hawkeye. I think the 3rd episode is the best one. It may be the best one of all the Disney bits of TV that they've done so far. It felt like what I wanted. It felt silly, fun. The bad guy was the biggest problem in that because I don't want to sound rude or anything. A one-legged deaf girl sounds like he's trying to fucking tick boxes. If you'd have had what's his face, Ben Poindexter as Bullseye in it, yeah, that'd have put the shit your pants factor up to 12, and that would have been really, really good. But there were some nice bits in it. The conversation on the train was funny. There was a heartwarming conversation in the flat where he can't hear because his hearing aid's fucked, and she's sitting there writing things down and telling him. And that's what I wanted from this entire series. The first 2 episodes didn't deliver that, and then the next one is kind of wandered off a bit. But I'm hoping it comes back to that 3rd episode the way it is.
I think they're setting something up. But Nige, have you watched any more of it?
What do you mean? Watched any more?
Hawkeye.
He hasn't watched any of it.
I thought
it's Nigel you're talking about. No, he didn't. He was like, so his argument was, I don't like Hawkeye. He's the boring Avenger.
You've got to go and watch it. But the 3rd episode, right? Her chief henchman, her right-hand man, right? Is he like Jon Snow's brother or something? Because he fucking well looks like him.
Mexican Jon Snow.
He does. He's a Mexican Jon Snow. You expect him to go, I'm from the north. Because he's got that look. I mean, he really does look like his brother. But I have to say, I'm kind of enjoying Hawkeye at the moment. It has its moments of seriousness, but I know that the fandom menace are bitching that it's the Kate Bishop show, but I don't care because the actress that they've chosen to pay her is just that charismatic. It works.
No. It is the Kate Bishop show, and they're completely right on that front.
Yeah.
My problem is probably with Echo. Echo is the bad guy. Not Echo, you.
I don't know that.
Apparently she doesn't know that. But yeah, she's the bad guy at the moment. But
everyone shut up.
She must have
taken over. It's game over, guys. The Terminators are coming for us. Get to your house. Get with tin veg and whatnot.
I've got a freaking robotic Hoover and it chases me around the house, but that's another matter. I knew that What's the Face was going to turn up. The Black Widow. I don't know. I'm just enjoying it because it's silly.
That's what you want when it comes to it. You just want something silly and fun.
Yeah.
But as I said, the Echo as a bad guy, she just looks fucking angry. I reckon my son could take her in a fight.
Yeah,
I really do. He just go right on the nose.
I know,
it just felt like such bullshit. I'm sorry that you've cast the wrong person. That's the one bit of casting you fucked up on because you were so keen on ticking those fucking boxes.
That's the only thing. Yeah, you're right. She's a bit annoying. But the action with the two of them firing off the arrows, and by the way, she isn't the main baddie. The mum is so dirty, it's untrue.
Yes.
The mum is yeah, she's dirty bitch. She's working for Kingpin. And we're gonna get him at the end. It's gonna be like the last couple of minutes. The big reveal is Kingpin. And that's gonna be cool because he is an awesome bad guy.
I'm hoping it's not going to be Mephisto like it was for fucking WandaVision.
No, it's not.
I
think we are going to get the Kingpin. I think there's too many rumors about this. It's like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in the fucking thing. The trailer, there's a bit where you can blatantly tell, right, in the trailer that they fucking photoshopped out Andrew Garfield from kicking the fucking lizard. Because the bit where the lizard goes like that, invisibly in the air, it's like, well, there's another Spider-Man there kicking him, which they photoshopped out. Like the worst kept secret in Hollywood. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield going, I am not in the movie. I'm not in the movie.
They might be, for all you know, they might have been doing voiceovers and they might be CGI'd into the movie. So they said, I wasn't lying. I'm technically not in the movie because they don't need them to be actually there, but they do need their voices, if that makes any sense.
You need to have all three of them.
That might be the get out clause.
Hopefully all three of them are unmasked talking to each other. By the way, there is Into the Spider-Verse 2 trailer and that looks good. That I am excited for because I loved the first one. But no, I'm kind of enjoying Hawkeye. It's silly. The first 2 episodes were a bit meh. Third episode did a lot to redeem it. The fourth episode I thought was okay. It left me wanting more at the end of it. She's actually, although she's not nice because the Black Widow movie is bad, the actress again is quite a nice actress. She was in that wrestler movie and she was brilliant in that. She was in the rest what was it called? Something Fighting with My Family. Nigel, you've seen that because you commented on it. She's good in that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. One thing, Gareth, that I've been meaning to say, because you two are into computer gaming, right?
We're going on to gaming next.
There is a cartoon on Netflix that I avoided, and then somebody said you have to go and watch this because it's genuinely
is this
really,
the League
really
of
good.
Legends one?
Yes, it's fucking awesome.
I watched it.
Very, very good.
20 minutes in, I didn't bite. Seriously, I got 20
Carry
minutes
on.
into it and it didn't. So I struggled.
On.
Yes, League of Legends. Anyway, we said we wouldn't spend too long on Hawkeye because it's Nigel's turn because we're going to talk about some gaming. Unfortunately, shut up. Oh no! You've missed the boat sailed. The
No, I'm not talking.
Did
you say
it's over the horizon? We can see
it's a gaming thing. It's a gaming
sunset.
thing. Are you going to talk about the Homeworld 3 trailer? Because I'll shut up if
yes,
you
I'm going to do that now. This is the first bit. All right. Fuck you now. I can't take him anywhere. I haven't seen this. All right. I'm just hoping there's no copyrighted music on it and everything is fine. So here we go. Homeworld 3.
So, Homeworld is a game I have never played.
I remember the
anything
Cartoba,
else.
I'll kick Gareth's ass on it. It's the only game.
an island in the dune sea.
That one time you're dining off it for
There's a
years.
guidestone. The diamond shoals.
Oh, I like these
The
captions. They're
sisters
great.
of Valcora, spinning 100 billion stars.
Oh, I put the captions on. Let me turn them off.
The song of the core.
That music.
I remember opening the gates.
If I have to speak because we've been looking at it a bit too long. Quick one. There's a mobile version of Homeworld coming soon, just on the iPad
Yes,
and things. It's already on Android, but not on iPad devices, which I have, which is annoying. Hang on. I need to
Was
rewind
it so long
something.
ago? No, not so long.
I'm curious as to which bit was
Not
actual
long
gameplay.
enough.
I'll show you in a
The
second.
bit- Yeah.
Unfortunately, that character's name is Karen. Karen's
choice.
Jet. She was Karen's Jet before we had problems with Karens. Right, hang on a second. Where is it? There's a bit here. I think it's just here. Oh, it's just there, right? Donna Ross and Auntie.
Yeah.
It's Donna Ross and Auntie. Donna Ross and Auntie. They're the kind of people who would put the Ross and Auntie in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this stuff here, Nige, is gameplay.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's a space-based 3D simulator, and it's quite hard to wrap your head around.
Is it an RTS?
Yes.
It was real-time strategy. Yes, in three dimensions.
And I spent a month, and I'm not lying. Right, the first game, he is way better than me at every Homeworld 2 and the other sort of add-on one.
Cataclysm.
But Homeworld 1, I completed the last level in 45 minutes. Only because I spent a fucking month stealing 280 fucking ships. So I completed the final episode level in 45 minutes because I jumped in with 300 and something ships and just obliterated it. But it took a month.
You stole all the frigates off of the opposing side. See, one of my strategies was when we played was a Cataclysm. You had the Beast, which was
you got
organic one.
You
fuck right. So the Beast, you get a ship, and the ship's like partly organic, and you can create like cruise missiles, and they're like torpedoes. Yeah. So what I did is I harvested a ton of materials to just make a ton of torpedoes, and then kept a load aside to do a jump. Yeah. I sent out a couple of scouts. I found out where Keith was. I jumped in on him. I then unleashed all the cruise missiles because the longer they travel, the less power they have because they run out of fuel. Blew his ship to pieces. Yeah. In one fucking strike. It was the definitive way of kind of beating him. And that was because I thought that was a fucking excellent strategy because I was like, hang on a second, I know how to beat you on this one. But yeah, that's Homeworld. It as a strategy game, it was good.
It was really the first truly 3D RTS that they made, and it was the story was good, the game was fucking awesome. And genuinely, the last two levels, you could really come up with a million ways. It was one of those levels where there was no one answer. It was not linear. There was no one way of doing it. And genuinely, many people came up with many different ways of doing it. I just spent a month stealing every fucking ship in there, and there was a lot of them.
I don't think. Yeah.
No, go on. I was going to say, Bilford brought up a point. The what do you call it? The Empire ships in Foundation look like the Homeworld vessel, the big sail. So he says it looks like what Foundation should have been. I said, yes, I quite agree.
Homeworld, the game, is influenced by, among others, Foundation.
Yes,
because there's other Homeworld games. There's a land-based, desert-based RTS game set in the Homeworld universe, which feels very Foundation-esque. Book-wise, not TV series.
For me, it's not a game I would buy because I've never liked RTS. But if it's on Game Pass, that is something I would definitely try.
No, that's a good point. I wonder if it is on Games Pass.
I've done a quick Google, and at the moment there doesn't seem to be anything.
It was.
I think it will be PC first. It'll be PC
I think so. It's on Steam. It's on
I
Steam,
believe
so,
it is going
yeah.
to be PC and Mac because it was crowdsourced, crowdfunded.
So it's unlikely to become.
But even so, I can play it PC. This thing will
Nudge,
run Windows
Nudge,
11.
mate. Don't be too sure. They might want to try and squeeze a bit more cash out of it for the next game. So I wouldn't give up on it, but I wouldn't hold out too much hope for it. If that makes any sense.
Well,
So
we'll see.
anyway, let's move on to our next one. This one was at the Game Awards, and it was a good bloody surprise.
I wonder what type of game this is.
Warhammer. I wonder what type of game this is.
Warhammers have different types of game. You've got a strategy
they've got
one.
so many different types.
You've got a shooty one.
When you see the name at the end, you'll know which type of game it is.
There's Warhammer Tactics as well, wasn't there? It's a bit like XCOM.
So I get so annoyed with Gears of War because they fucking ripped the idea of the chain sword off from Warhammer.
Are they different sides?
They're the
Not the aliens and
Ultramarines.
him, but him and the bloke watching.
No, that's the humans. So the Marines are on the human side. The Astartes, what we're going to call them.
Are they Chaos?
No, they're Ultramarines. They're the regular Space Marines.
Don't know much about Warhammer, to be honest, but so he just casually has 4 bullets embedded in his head.
No, they're not bullets. They're implants. And now get some gameplay.
Hack and slash.
Now, there was a Space Marine game a while back, which I really enjoyed the hell out of. And you got to the end and you found out that the Inquisitor was in league with Chaos. Because what it was is the goblin kind of thing. Orcs, sorry, thank you. The only ones that seem to enjoy themselves in this kind of situation were invading. But the Chaos bits were behind. So it looks good. I do like me a bit more. I liked the Space Marine game. It was a really good game. I loved it when I got the fucking jetpack and chainsword and just flying around, just smashing the crap. Well, you kind of did this like dive thing where you flew down. I think they showed it in the track there too, where you smash the crap out of the ground and do some serious damage. Really good, really enjoyable. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm just hoping it's as good as the previous one. I'm just annoyed because so many games have ripped off bits from Warhammer. It looks like Warhammer's copying them, but they've been around since the sodding 80s. So it's one of those things. The Tyranids are my favorite bad guys in Warhammer. They're the organic kind of monsters. They don't go through the warp or anything. They just drift from planet to planet and consume all the biomass. It's fabulous. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I was hoping I was hoping I'd get a little thing off you. This one here, I think you'll like, and then I think you'll groan.
Star Wars Eclipse.
I've seen this trailer.
There we are. Wait for it to start.
Is that real? Is that live action?
No,
Because it looks like it.
it's CGI. I can tell there's a weird like haze thing on it.
Jedi's can only fight in epic scenery.
Yeah. Jedi's are cool.
Graphics do look good in this trailer anyway.
There's yeah.
Even if it's not gameplay. I do appreciate a good CGI trailer.
Right. Just to point out, not Keith, right? Are they fucking Cylon Raiders?
They bloody well look like it. I thought that when I watched this trailer.
I mean, what are they?
Voldemort's.
It looks like his
They look
face
like
is going to
Voldemort.
split open, you know.
All right. Come on. Because you're taking your sweet time.
Yeah.
Right, now I'm gonna really upset you two. And this is how I'm gonna upset you. Yeah. So naturally, it looks like it's happening during the Old Republic era. Yeah, sometime around about then. No, it's not. It's being set and around the new Lucas's fucking stupid High Republic, or Let's Get High Republic. Yes, that does look like Baron Harkonnen's oil bath. It's annoying because that oil bath made him look.
It's set around the High
terrifying.
Republic, I know, but it did look like Star Wars. The trailer looks kind of good. But it's High Republic, but is it because that's the Jedi Temple from the Old Republic? So when is this? I don't know. It's interesting, but it's probably
Yes,
going to
it's
be.
cute.
It's probably going to be lame. But yeah, it does look
Yeah.
like Baron Harkonnen's oil bath. Yeah, you're
Just
right.
yeah.
Do we know what type of game it is?
No idea. I'm hoping if it's going to be like what was the last one EA put out with the ginger fella?
Yeah, I know the one.
That one. If it's like that, then I think it'll be okay.
I've forgotten the name of it, but it was
But I know
good.
what you mean.
Oh, yeah, it was the last good Star Wars game.
It was
without
actually
microtransactions.
yeah, without any of that nonsense. But it was a very good game. That I like the setting. It was a little bit like Uncharted in that respect, where you run around and you take baddies on, you climb and you jump and you do things,
Yes.
you find stuff, and
Well-
that I like that.
Yes. Okay. All right. So that was Star Wars. Now for a Sony Pony exclusive. It should be shorter.
The land is dying, and the machines are out of control. Whatever comes, I will be ready.
So yes, that was Horizon Forbidden West. They just showed off a load of fighting, all in-game assets, all everything looking cool. Yeah, that looks genuine. I think that's fine. The problem is the actress doing the voice casting, and I noticed this when I went back and replayed it. She sounds like she's holding her face as she's talking. We must take out the bad guys. It's like, okay, you can express with your face. She sounds like the actress doing the voiceover is holding a face still. They were told to be stoic, not have a still face, which there's a difference between. So that's a bit worrying, and I need to review a face because last time we looked at the character's face, they how can I put it politely, were a bit chubby. They're all chubmeisters. So yes, that was.
Hey, if you've got a voice, it doesn't matter in voice acting, does it? What you look like.
True. Does look interesting. I'm probably not going to buy it until it goes down in price because I ain't fucking paying 70 quid for a fucking game.
Nope.
So yes, this is what's stopping me from using my fucking PlayStation 5 at the moment is the price of the games. They've priced themselves out of my interest. Yeah, I can buy. I get about $5 of Xbox credit free from Microsoft because I got some bits with them. Yeah, every month. Yeah. And I can buy games. I think I bought Red Dead Redemption for £18. Red Dead Redemption 2, sorry, for £18. Yeah, that's kept me going for ages. For fucking £18, that was 4 months worth of credit and some change. But Sony, I think, are pricing themselves out of the market by making the things cost too fucking much.
Yeah, literally, Sony are doing that because even when you've got a game on the PS4 and you want to play it on your PS5, you can play a PS4 version. And if there's a PS5 version, an upgrade for that, they'll go, yeah, you can have that for the princely sum of, and then it would be upwards of £10 for the upgrade to PS5. But if you've got a version on the Xbox and you pop the disc in, it goes, I see you've got the Xbox One version there. Yeah, have a free upgrade, and you get the latest upgrade. And you get the Xbox
you do with some of the PlayStation 5 stuff, not all of it though.
Yeah,
so No Man's Sky is a great example.
Yes, yeah. Right at the very start, they did that, and now they've realised they can get money. I mean, I've got the Final Fantasy, whatever the last one that came out, and the Final Fantasy 7 remake on PS4, which I need to play. I haven't got around to playing it yet, and then they brought out Integrate, but you have to pay for that. And I'm like,
as I said before, they're pricing themselves out of the market. That's what they're doing. It's not good. It's not clever. It's annoying.
60 quid was too much, and then they start charging 70, and I went, not bought.
I'll come back when it goes down in price.
That's it. The only PS5 game I own is a Miles Morales one, which I got at the time that I got the console over a year ago.
And that wasn't a full price game either.
It wasn't a full price game.
That was because it was an add-on that was removed.
Yeah, I haven't bought a PS5 game or a game on PlayStation the entire time I've had PlayStation 5 because of their pricing model.
Okay, all right. Well, let's just move on to our next one. It's so funny because it's only PlayStation that prices themselves out. All the other third parties keep them roughly the same price.
Yeah.
Which is madness. Just a quick one. Not my Eli. She looks fugly. I'm hoping that. Yeah, I need to check on her face because last time we checked her face, she did look fucking awful.
They'd increase the size of her face from the first.
She had a great big giant face. All right, so here's the next one.
She's been feasting off her first series episode.
As I said, if storyline wise, that she has been sitting on her ass because she did so much, and she's got fat because she's been able to sit on her ass because hand and foot for saving everyone. That makes sense, and you know what? I will accept that as a reasonable excuse because that is a reasonable excuse. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to our next one.
My daughter, a new threat comes to our shores. And I must call you home. Restore what has been broken. Unite old enemies. Forge new bonds. You are a hero. But you can be more.
So is this Wonder Woman?
A leader.
Yes.
You our Wonder Woman.
Done by the people who bought you Batman Arkham Asylum. So that's Rocksteady, if I remember correctly. So I was hoping Keith would go, Wonder Woman! During the trailer, but he didn't. I'm very let down. I feel extremely let down over that one.
Sorry.
You kept it in. Well done.
He kept it in.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see what they do with it. It's going to be one of these. It's going to be same as Batman, isn't it? It's going to be running around, hit shit, bit like Marvel Avengers, and
That's all you can really do with superheroes is to have them run around and punch stuff. You can't really go any more from that. And then we had there's two more trailers. This is the second to last trailer, and we'll wrap up.
We all come to a story with hopes and expectations, looking for an answer. Sometimes it would be better to live with that hope without ever finding the story. This is not the story you want it to be. This story will eat you alive. This story is a monster. And monsters wear many faces.
well then.
Action! All right,
Yes,
Okay.
Alan
See you
Wake
later, boys.
2, featuring Jared Leto as Alan Wake. Now, if you play Control, there's a great add-on for Control where it crosses over Alan Wake and Control together in the same universe. Because what happens is in Control, you have incidences where the universe kind of breaks down and the normal rules don't apply anymore, and they refer to these AWE incidents. And where Alan Wake is in the story, the town and the rules of reality break down, that's an AWE instance. So there's a chance that the girl from Control and the Bureau from Control might actually turn up in the Alan Wake thing, which I think I'd appreciate if they did bother doing that, because that would show that they're kind of invested in like a shared kind of reality sort of thing.
I never played the first one. It was before my time in having an Xbox, but I think I've got it on my backwards compatibility. I think it's on the Game Pass. So if you did want to have a little go, and I might have a little go on it, Alan Wake. If I remember rightly, the only way you can kill him is you shine the light at the thing and then you shoot it.
You shine the light at them, and then that weakens them, so you can then finish him off with guns. It's good. I enjoyed Alan Wake. Control, not as much as Alan Wake. I think it was because the environments, everything just felt really samey after a while, and you put like 20 hours into it, and it feels the same. Yeah, so the Alan Wake, and then when I come across the Alan Wake bits, so then it woke me up because I was like, same kind of, everything was the same. And then you get to the Alan Wake bits, and you're like, hang on a fucking moment, I need a torch because that's the only way you can take out the bad guys. All right, last one. This is the Suicide Squad Killed Justice League.
When I think of the Justice League, I think of Wonder Woman, Superman,
Wonder Woman,
Green Lantern. You don't want to mess with that lot. But you, Barry, you're just the team mascot, aren't you, mate? The loser of the league, folks. The fastest man alive. It's the Flash.
Flash is alive, and he's playing for Team Brainiac.
I gave you orders. Kill the Flash, or I'll kill you myself.
Cool, cool.
Coming out swinging!
Nothing can stop me! Did it. I'm a speed demon! Did you get him? Really? Why don't you just mail me the bullet? I'm the eye in the sky. Taking point for you, son. Pulverize. Who else needs a basket? Oh, yeah. Got your back, jockey boy. No escape from my wrath. You want to see what a real hero can do? I'll show you. Come on then, you prick! Really thought Flasher had us that time.
Right. It's funny because that's from Rocksteady 2, and they look like they're finishing off next year, so they're already starting Wonder Woman after. If the 4-player gameplay goes like I think it should, it'd be good. Yeah, 4 people doing that. Trying to come across the old Justice League and take them out one by one. I'd probably put Flash and fucking Superman at the top of the list for the ones that would be the hardest to take out. Just because it's the guy that can fucking break your neck in the blink of an eye and you not even see it. Pretty fucking deadly. Yeah. Same go for Superman too with his speed. So
he looked corrupted, didn't he?
Yes, he's been infected with brainiacs and nanites. So he's been taken over. Now that's what all the other people in the city have kind of done. But I just love it looks fun. I'm hoping it will be as fun as it looks. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it might be another generic 3D third person shooty.
Yeah.
In which case, it could be boring.
It's Rocksteady, so as I said, Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, pretty good games.
Not for me. Didn't like them. I tried. I've got them. And I must have played about half hour. Got don't like this. Deleted it.
Okay.
So what you like, not necessarily I like, but you might enjoy it.
All right.
I thought the Arkham Knight games were good, so this looks good.
Yeah. Well, exactly. I know I'm probably in the minority with my view on the Batman games. I just didn't enjoy them, but other people really, really did, and it's one of their Game of the Year stuff, isn't it? So
everything's small about you, nice. So
yeah.
And on that note, I think it's time we wrap this up. Say goodbye. So, Keith, don't you start anything. It's goodbye from me.
This is a family show, Keith.
I wasn't going there. I'm saying you're small. I mean, you went there. I was just laughing that. Okay, yeah, we can go there if you want. Anyway, bye.
Keith, go.
Bye.
Bye.
I find it amazing that you two turned what I thought looked like an interesting game